Sophie give you a bit of a scare there?
No, because she smiled. Like
Okay.
when she fell down, she just smiled. And where she grabbed it, you could like almost see the cramp in her quad. Apparently, we need to lay off the caffeine before games and drink a little bit more water. She said, "Coach, I did it all last year. You're playing a little bit more now, honey. Like, you got to make sure you're hydrating."
She wasn't playing this time last year.
Yeah. So looked confident out there. You know.
I know you have to go through the film and other things, but what's your initial kind of thoughts on what you saw tonight, and has it been the same what you've seen maybe in Europe and through your practices?
Yeah, you can see we want to play a little bit faster. I think in the first, 10 possessions or whatever it was, we ran one set play. Everything else was in, just transition and flow. And, I think that's, we preach it. Even with the people on the bench, we still had 1 through 10 that felt really comfortable with them being out there. And then everything on the defensive end was probably exactly what we thought. Ella Collier doesn't miss a ball screen coverage that we ask her to be in. Everybody else does. So we'll continue to show film on that. And we all joking aside, we've got to get better. Some things that we got away with today, we're not going to get away with against Purdue Fort Wayne. And then as the season continues, definitely not getting away with those things.
Was that part of the timeout there in the second quarter?
100%.
I don't know if you talked to your team.
I said what I needed to say, and then it was media, and I told Kelly and Mark if they had something to say. I didn't have anything else, so.
Well, they responded.
20-0 run, right?
Right.
They listened.
Right. When you brought Ella in, shooter from all levels, but how much does she add from a playmaking and setting up her teammates' ability, especially in the post?
Yeah, just always makes like the right basketball play. I think in transition, she pushed ahead, kicked across the court. Post injuries, 5 assists, no turnovers. It took the one shot, and honestly, it looked really good off the, our misdirection based on out of bounds there. And we ran a couple other things that were trying to get her a look, but something else happened, and we were able to take advantage of it. Obviously, we want her to shoot the ball, but at the same time, she just makes, basketball plays out there. And I asked her, when did you learn to play defense? Because she doesn't miss a ball screen coverage. She's always doing exactly what we need her to do. And she's been great for Sophie. Asked her to kind of take her under her wing and, show her how it is to be that, that woman on a team. And Sophie has fully embraced that.
Just the way your freshman post played, the way they played with the physicality that they played with.
Yeah, I mean that's going to always be there. I think even today it was probably a little bit tougher for them because they're not playing against the same kind of physical strength. Just the game's got to slow down for them a little bit on both ends of the floor. We have 11 turnovers and 7 of them are theirs. And when the game does slow down for those guys, and the talent is there, right? And the want to is there, and you can see it. I think one time KP just kind of tossed somebody to the side and made a hustle play. So they want to be great. They love playing here and playing for Purdue and playing with their teammates. So just got to keep working to get better. Defensively, they've got to get better in ball screen coverages for us. But like you said, just physical, natural strength is kind of different than what we've had.
Hey, Coach, can you talk about just what you had a chat with Sophie and Lana about second quarter? I think 6:30 mark, and somebody didn't box out. They came up with an offensive rebound, and I saw you put your hand up, and Kendall Purrier running into the game.
Yeah, I think they both expected the other one to grab it, and I just told them that I would rather them run into each other, both trying to grab the basketball and then lose it that way, than just assume that the other one is going to grab it. And I think Lana said, yeah, that's my fault. That won't happen again.
Destiny Lombard, I mean, this is the first time I think, the fans really got to see the kind of playmaker she is, being able to create her own shot, the quickness defensively. What did you see out of her, and has she checked the boxes for you?
Yeah, just a shot maker, on the perimeter. can get to the rim. Defensively, still learning. Our ball screen coverages has some tendencies to do some things that she could get away with at her previous school, and maybe she got away with here tonight. So just gotta, we'll show them on tape. We've got to be better defensively in some ball screen coverages, and then understanding what we're trying to do. But that's going to come with time. Obviously first time, for KP and Lana, and then Mari, Dez, and Ella and Reagan to play in Mackey with the lights on. Thought they embraced it, and we'll just look to keep getting better.
With Kendall and Lana, what do you feel like is maybe the biggest challenge, especially as freshmen post players? Trying to come in, learn the speed, and also trying to play defense aggressively without picking up the quick fouls that they were a little bit prone to tonight.
Yeah. I think just the mental side of the game in terms of how much we ask them to think and play at the same time. Whether KP's at the 5 or the 4, what we're doing on ball screen coverages. We try to, mix things up quite a bit in what we're doing out there. And then when we scheme up things and we do scouts, making sure they understand, why we're doing it. We've learned as a staff, if we can get them to understand the why, it kind of helps them be able to remember it. And like I said, when the game just kind of mentally slows down for them, I think they have a chance to be pretty special here.
Maya Randall's the first game that she's gotten to play in nearly 2 years now. What do you think of the way she came out looking in the second quarter, and what do you feel like is going to be the expectation for her this season?
Yeah, I thought she was solid. A little, I think she took the first pull up and a joke with her. I think she almost broke the backboard there. But to be expected. She hadn't played in 600 days or whatever it was, but is someone who's going to be able to get us in offense. Someone who can take 15, 17 footers, working on extending her range. 3 assists, no turnovers. And had a plus 23 in 17 minutes. So, and then her knowledge on the defensive end, she really knows what's going on, and she's able to talk to everybody out there.
Jayla Smith looked really comfortable tonight. Yeah. Has she taken a step forward?
I think that's the Jayla we started to see at the end of the year last year. And, someone who's, starting to find her rhythm with a lot of new players. She's been comfortable playing alongside, JT and Abby and Madison for 3 years. So her being kind of our lone holdover, I think she just wants to come out here and, play as hard as she can and be the best player that Jayla Smith can be. And, she talked to her all the time, just go have fun and love basketball. Go have fun and love basketball, and the rest will fall into place. And, tonight I saw her crack a couple smiles, so we'll just keep that smile on number 3's face.
As you went into the game, I don't know what kind of plan you had for lineups, but what were you trying to emphasize in terms of like composition, experience-wise? Who's new, who's not?
Yeah, I didn't expect to like mass sub like that, but we didn't get a break for a while, and I thought we got a little winded. So sent all 5 in there, and then I didn't envision that happening. I kind of wanted to slowly start to, put people in with some, get a Maya in there with Ella and Reagan, just some experience in there with her along next to her. And because I think she's very comfortable when they're alongside of her, but that didn't happen tonight. And I think we were able to do a little bit there in the second half, and then played with Lana and KP on the floor at the same time, just a little bit tough against teams that have multiple shooters on the floor and space them out. But I think we're going to be in a position that those two are going to have to be on the floor sometime together.
You talked about that quick exchange about the box out, and there were others, obviously. Is that something you believe in, to pull players out right away and talk to them?
No, I don't know. I think I had Sophie. Somebody was going in for Sophie at the scores table already, but I need Lana to know the urgency about it. So that's why we went with KP right away, and I just loved her response. It just happened to be that I took Sophie out at the same time. I just loved Lana's response, like, yeah, that's on me, and it won't happen again. Like, just love coaching her.
Are you guys, conditioning-wise, are you guys in a good spot, do you think?
I thought so. The numbers on our little catapult tell me we're in a pretty solid spot. I think we've got to keep continuing to get into game shape as the season progresses. But, the first 5 minutes with no whistle, I thought we handled it pretty well.
And on the flip side, Lana goes out, Kendall goes in, gets a bucket, and then an assist. Can you talk about just the competitive nature of both of those two
Yeah,
and how
just
they're
super competitive young women in everything they do. I mean, after practice, they're always getting up shots, and I think at halftime we told them that we might need to stop that a little bit because I think they looked a little tired at halftime, but constantly playing one-on-one against each other, constantly in the gym, hungry to watch film. I'm telling you, like, those two young ladies just want to be great.